I'm here with Frank from Ball Python Distributors, and who's this?
Leslie.
Leslie, explain to our viewers what snake you got around your neck.
This is a pastel pied. He's an adult male. He's about 5 years old, and he's a proven breeder.
Ah, nice. And are you attracting people over here with that?
Trying to.
That's good. All right, but Frank, you know, I noticed when we passed by the table here, you have Cinder project stuff. I assume this came from Outback?
Yeah, so the Cinder mutation is a new gene that came from Outback a few years ago. Not a lot has been done with it, so there is a whole lot still to be done. Right now we're trying to prove out if it's allelic to the mahogany mutation.
Oh, interesting. That would be cool.
Yeah, so with the Cinders, one thing that we've been noticing when we hatch them out is they physically have a different head appearance. Their heads physically are wider at the base, so that is one thing that we have noticed.
Wider when you mean like just right here?
Yeah.
Like cheeks bulge out a little.
Yeah, so they have more of a what's known as a bulldog face.
Gotcha.
Also known, some black pastels tend to have that too, so that's one trait we've noticed. We are still figuring out a few other cues to actually correctly identify them with better accuracy. But
it's hard to tell.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. But when you start mixing them into other mutations such as black pastel, that's when you
show us that one.
That's when you really see what the mutation is capable of.
And Outback is known for their black pastel, so I'm assuming that they kind of stumbled upon this.
Yeah, so Outback has a few different lines of black pastels that they call like the ENG Panda line.
That's
so
what I have, yeah.
I believe that this is the same black pastel line.
It almost looks like a GHI Mojave a little bit, you know?
Yeah, so you really
Very
see
dark, yeah.
The Cinder really brings out a lot of dark contrasting in the black pastel, and it almost completely erases the side pattern and adds a lot of gold dorsal striping.
Is there a Super Cinder?
There is a Super Cinder. I believe only a few have been made, and they are still at Outback. So I personally have not seen any in person.
Oh, he's hoarding them. Basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha.
And then when you add just a few other simple mutations, such as...
I love the head is so dark on this one.
Oh yeah, and like I said, they also have that sort of bulldog-shaped face.
Yeah, I noticed that like the super black pastels get that head shape a little bit too.
Correct, yeah. And then also when you add calico, it sort of washes out the dorsal striping.
Oh yeah, there it is, yeah. And it brings back a little more pattern.
Yeah, so certain mutations we're finding bring back more pattern, such as in the Cinder pewter. We almost thought that...
The Cinder pewter would be the black pastel
Cinder, correct. So that's one thing we're trying to figure out right now. That gives us hope that it's not related to mahogany.
Gotcha.
Because when you breed mahogany to pewter, you don't end up with a solid colored snake.
Gotcha. What's this? This is, to me, is the wackiest thing that I've seen.
Yeah, so
I love that. I love anything like silver like that.
Yeah, so this is the question mark ball. We bred a Cinder pewter male to a pewter B female. And at the moment, we're thinking it's a super black pastel, super pastel Cinder, possible spider. But
does it have any head wobble?
As of right now, we have not noticed any head wobble, but that can possibly develop later on if it's spider. Yeah. If it's spider.
Let me see if I can get her opened up a little bit here. I want to see so we can show the head pattern a little of this.
And it also has some very cool paradox-like black marks.
Now you know why they call them ball pythons, right?
Exactly.
That's pretty cool. That's a cool snake. Does the Cinder add that silverness, or you think that's just from the super black pastel, super pastel?
I personally think that the Cinder does add. Outback has dubbed the pewter Cinder the silver Cinder.
I remember seeing that, yeah.
So they do tend to add that coloration to the combos.
What do you want to put into this? Banana?
I already have it in banana.
Oh, let's see. Show us. Now that's just a single Cinder banana, right?
Correct. So
what makes this different than a regular banana?
Well, the Cinder mutation.
How do you know it's in there?
Well, with the bananas, it's a little more noticeable because it starts adding a lot more coloration. The color just pops, brings out the yellow contrasting and the purple and lavender hues.
And this is a bigger snake. I'm sure when it was a baby, it probably had way more contrast.
Oh yeah, as a baby, the snake honestly had some red hues, and right now, as you see, it's sort of just glowing underneath the light. It sort of still has some more of the red blushing. And it's also a female maker, so you can never go wrong with that.
No, absolutely not. So, well, I love the Cinder project. I think it's just it's in its infancy, really, because they haven't even tapped into the potential of this project yet.
Oh, entirely. There's still so much to be done with this and many other mutations.
Well, keep up all the great work over here. It's always great to see you, and good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
All right, Dave Palumbo over here at Ball Python Distributors.